dream it all. Listen close and join my song. Gentle stories all night long. Snuggle in and rest your head. Magic dreams will now be spread. Close your eyes so calm and bright. Now begins our dream. Begins our dream tonight.
Lulu and the Echoes of the Moonwell. The night was still, wrapped in a soft hush that felt older than the forest itself. Lulu wandered through tall grass that shimmered like silver thread, drawn forward by a quiet she couldn't name. Above her, the sky stretched wide and cloudless, the moon a perfect round mirror of light. It was the kind of night when things hidden are no longer shy. Between two twisted willow trees, Lulu saw it, a pool of liquid light. Not water, not silver, but something in between. The surface didn't ripple, even though the wind brushed gently across the clearing. She stepped closer. No reflection looked back at her. Not her wool, not her eyes. Instead, she heard something. A whisper. Not in words, but in longing. Then, from the shadows near the edge of the pool, a slender blue fox stepped forward. His fur caught the moonlight like frost. On his head, a silver feather shimmered softly. His eyes met Lulu's, and for a moment, they shared the same silence. "My name is Yen," he said without opening his mouth. The words arrived like a breeze, soft and shaped from thought. "I used to sing dreams into the wind, but I lost my voice." Lulu tilted her head gently. "How are you speaking now?" He looked to the Moonwell. "It listens differently." A soft shuffle behind them broke the stillness. From beneath a leaf, a small figure emerged, a pale snail with a spiraled shell the color of fog. She wore a tiny satchel, too big for her, and her feelers trembled slightly. "I'm Toma," she whispered. "I don't like echoes. They say things I try not to hear." Lulu stepped gently beside her. Maybe the Moonwell hears things kindly. Toma looked unsure. Yen's silver feather twitched once. "This place doesn't reflect your face," he said. "It reflects what waits beneath your quiet." The Moonwell did not move, but something inside it shifted softly, like a breath taken in a dream. Lulu sat beside it, her hooves just barely touching the mossy edge. Toma curled up close to her side, her spiral shell pulsing faintly with a glow too soft to name. Yen stood across from them, his eyes closed, as if listening to something only he remembered. "I used to sing in dreams," Yen said without speaking. "Not words, just sounds that felt like colors. But one night, I woke, and they were gone." He stepped closer to the Moonwell, and the silver light rippled just once. In it, a swirl of blue mist appeared, floating just above the surface. It twisted, curled, then faded. "Is that your song?" Lulu asked gently. Yen nodded. "I miss it every night." Toma lowered her feelers. "Sometimes I think things I don't want to. The Moonwell shows them back to me. I'm scared it might show them to others." Lulu placed a soft hoof on Toma's side. "Maybe we all carry thoughts like that. The Moonwell isn't here to shame them, just to hold them." Toma looked at the pool. And this time, she leaned forward. The water didn't change, but a new sound entered the clearing. Not a voice, not music, just a quiet echo. As if someone far away had whispered a truth they'd never dared speak aloud. Yen's feather shimmered again. The Moonwell glowed a bit brighter. Lulu looked up. No clouds. Just stars beginning to form, faint, like the first notes of a lullaby not yet sung. Lulu turned back to the Moonwell, and though it made no sound, she felt it listening. Lulu watched as the stars slowly gathered above, scattered like tiny thoughts too shy to shine. The Moonwell's surface remained still, yet it felt as if waves of emotion moved beneath it, unspoken, unseen, but deeply felt. Yen sat near the edge now, his paws tucked under his chest, his eyes closed. His silver feather flickered, not from wind, but from memory. "When I lost my voice," he said into the quiet, "I thought I would vanish. I thought no one would remember me without my song." Lulu looked at him with soft eyes. "But you're still here." Yen opened his eyes. "Only because the Moonwell listens." Toma was quiet. Her shell had stopped glowing. She gazed at the Moonwell as if it might say something first. Then she whispered, barely audible even to herself, "I once dreamed I said something brave, and everyone laughed." The Moonwell rippled, and in its surface, an image formed, a tiny version of Toma, standing tall in a sunlit field, speaking clearly and brightly. Around her were blurred shapes, others, but none were laughing. They were listening. Toma stared, her feelers slowly uncurling. "I don't remember that dream," she said. "It remembers you," said Lulu. The image faded. Softer light filled the clearing now, as if the Moonwell's silence had become warm. Then a breeze stirred the leaves. And in that moment, Lulu felt something stir in her heart. A memory, or perhaps a wish. She stepped toward the Moonwell and closed her eyes. I sometimes feel like my stories only matter when someone's listening, she said. But sometimes, I wonder who listens to me. The Moonwell glowed, and above its surface, a single silver ripple rose. It shaped itself into a circle, simple, glowing. A listening ear made of light. Lulu opened her eyes and smiled softly. Someone was listening. Always had been. The clearing felt different now, warmer, though no fire burned. The air shimmered faintly, as if every breath carried a gentle echo of something important. Not loud, not urgent, just true. Toma had settled beside Lulu, her shell glowing faintly once more. She didn't speak, but her silence felt calm now, like a pond after the ripple fades. Yen sat across from them, one ear turned to the sky, the other to the Moonwell. He was still, but listening in all directions. Does the Moonwell change us? Lulu asked. Yen's silver feather lifted slightly. No, he answered. It reminds us of what was never broken. They watched as the Moonwell shifted again, not in form, but in feeling. A new shape hovered just above its surface, a flickering thread, floating gently between Lulu and Toma. Then another thread appeared between Toma and Yen, and then one from Lulu to the stars above. Their connections, Toma whispered. Lulu nodded, like stories. Or like listening, Yen added. Sava would have glowed here, Lulu thought. Even though the firefly wasn't with them this time, she imagined a little flicker dancing through the threads. Then, something strange. The Moonwell pulsed once, and in that pulse, all their thoughts slowed. Not because something had gone wrong, but because something important was arriving. A deep stillness. A full pause. Then quiet words, not from outside, but within each of them. From the Moonwell, or maybe from themselves. Even the softest truths deserve to echo. Lulu breathed in deeply. Toma closed her eyes. Yen smiled, just barely. And above them, the stars no longer felt far away. They felt close, like echoes returning home. The Moonwell no longer glowed with silver alone. Now, its light carried hues of deep blue, soft rose, and quiet gold, colors that had no names, only feelings. It didn't shimmer like water. It shimmered like memory. Lulu stood at the edge, her reflection still absent. But in the space where her image should have been, there was something else, a swirl of threads, like the ones that had formed between them earlier. But this time, they stretched out beyond the pool into the trees, the sky, the stars. Are those others? She asked softly. Yes, Yen said. Others who whispered into the Moonwell. Long ago, or just now, or not yet. Toma touched one thread with the tip of her feeler. It pulsed warmly. It's not scary, she whispered. It's soft. Like being heard, Lulu said. Yen stepped forward and let one thread pass through his feather. His voice, still only thought, carried a new tone. Even without sound, we speak. They stood in silence for a long while, not because they had nothing to say, but because the quiet said everything. Then Lulu turned to her friends. Will the Moonwell disappear when we leave? Maybe, Yen replied, but it leaves something behind. What? Toma asked. Yen's feather dipped toward her, the knowing that you were never truly alone. The air grew still again, but not empty. The kind of stillness that holds lullabies not yet sung, stories not yet told, and echoes that are still on their way back. Lulu took one last look at the Moonwell. Then she stepped back. Toma followed, her little satchel swinging gently. Yen came last, his silver feather catching the final gleam of moonlight. And as they walked away, the Moonwell dimmed. But it did not fade. It listened still. To anyone brave enough to whisper.
Now it's quiet, night is near. Drift away through stars so clear. Lulu whispers soft and bright. Sleep so well and good night. Sweetest dreams will softly flow. Lulu stays with you, you know, till we meet again, my dear. Let your dreams keep drawing near. Till we meet again, my dear. Let your dreams keep drawing